Today we are learning the chapter Human Eye and the Colorful World Part 4. We are going to discuss the topic atmospheric refraction and scattering of light in explaining the various natural phenomena that is occurring around us. Now you see in the slide a person is coming with a question mark in his mind. He is trying to find out answers for some of the phenomena that is happening around us. Let us ask him what thoughts are circling around him. He wants to know the reason why stars twinkle, whereas planets do not. We sing the song with nursery rhyme. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, we never see twinkle, twinkle, planet. Simple. Do you also want to know the reason now? Yes. He wants to know why is there 2 minutes difference between actual sunrise and the sunrise we see. In fact, we see the sun 2 minutes before the actual sunrise. Similarly, we see the sun for 2 minutes even after the sun has set, actual sunset. And he also wants to know why the sun's disk appears flattened at sunrise and at sunset. So let us explore along with him to find out the answer for these questions. Now first let us see how stars twinkle. Twinkling of stars. The reason we will try to analyze. What is twinkling of stars? Sometimes the star appears to be brighter, sometimes it appears to be fainter. And this effect is called twinkling effect. Why does it happen? Let us consider that a star is here. This is the position of the star. And you know that the star's light has to travel through atmosphere because above our earth atmosphere is there, and there are different layers of atmosphere, and the topmost layer will be less dense because as we go higher up the density of air particles decreases and the topmost layer density of air will be very less, so we can consider that topmost layer as the rarer medium, and next one will be more dense than the previous layer and so on. Then the bottommost layer will be the highest density. So that means the refractive index of the layer is increasing in this direction from top to bottom. So as the star's light enters from one layer to another layer, suppose it is entering here, then what happens? You have learnt that it enters from rarer to denser medium. So it bends towards the normal, like this it bends. Then again it is striking this layer and this layer. If you draw the normal, then we can find out that it is entering from rarer to denser medium. So again it bends towards the normal. So this goes on. So it keeps bending, and you see that the path of the light becomes curved at each point, and finally here when it comes out it will be bending like this, and the person who is here, whoever is seeing here from here, he thinks that this light has comes from appearing to him as if it has come from here. This you can draw it as a dotted line, straight line. He sees it straight. He thinks that because he knows that light travels in straight line, so it gives the appearance as if that for that person, whoever is here, for that person, it appears as if the light has come from here That means is this the position of star slightly above its actual position. So this is the actual position and this is the apparent position. So what we see as the position of the star, remember that it is not the actual position. And apart from that, this position is also not fixed. What happens? Because you know that due to physical conditions keeps on changing, the density of the air in the atmosphere also keeps on changing. That means the density of different layers also keeps on changing. So the path of the light accordingly will change. That means the apparent position of the stars also will keep on changing, which gives rise to that. So flickering effect in our eye, which causes the twinkling effect. Hope you have understood why stars twinkle. So having understood the twinkling effect of stars, now let us find out why planets do not twinkle. In fact, stars are very far away from us, so they can be considered as point sources of light, whereas planets are very near to the Earth and they can be considered as extended sources. So each point on the planet can be considered as a point source, or in fact we can say that the planets are a collection of a large number of point sources of light. Of course, planets do not give light on its own. It reflects the light which is coming from the star, and each point on the planet acts as sources of light. So the total amount of variation in the light coming from the large number of point sources of light average to be 0. Average out to be 0, thus nullifying the twinkling effect. Therefore, planets do not twinkle. Planets do not twinkle for that reason. Now let us try to find out the reason for advanced sunset and sunrise and delayed sunset, advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. I told there is 2 minutes difference from the actual one. So now let us consider this is the earth and a person is standing here and we are going to see this. This is the atmosphere surrounding him. The layer of atmosphere, and this is the observer, and here this is layer of atmosphere, layers of atmosphere. Now the sun is here, sunrise, I am talking about sunrise. When we say sun rises, then it is near the horizon. When it crosses the horizon, then we say sun has risen. So this is the horizon. So when the sun is even below the horizon, it has not even come to the horizon. But the light which is coming out from here, what happens? It enters into the layers of atmosphere and then it undergoes refraction, as we said that it undergoes refraction at each point, as we have discussed in the case of star, and then it reaches here like a curved path. So the person here, for him it appears as if this light has come from here. So he will be seeing the sun here. So even before it has crossed the horizon, this happens in the time difference between this is only 2 minutes. Then it touches the horizon and this only it will be 2 minutes. So even before it comes in, it rises, we are able to see. The same way we can give the explanation for the sunset also. So all this, what is the conclusion you have drawn from these discussions? All these phenomena are happening due to atmospheric refraction of light. So with that we can explain all the things which is happening. The same principle or same explanation goes for the flattening of sun's disk at sunrise and at sunset. The interplay of light with objects around us gives rise to a spectacular phenomena in nature. Now you see the photograph. What do you see? Blue color of the sky, yes. What else do you see? White clouds. Again the person has come. It's question mark hanging over his mind. He wants to know the reason why sky is blue in color. Also he wants to find out why clouds are generally white in color. He wants to know why danger signals are red in color and not any other color. He is wondering, he wants to find out what will be the color of the sky for an asteroid spacecraft or for a passenger who is flying at very high altitudes. Will it be the same color? He wants to know. Why sun appears red at sunrise and sunset? So let us also explore along with him to get the answers for all this. In the last year, if you recall, you have learned about scattering of light by the colloidal particles, which is known as Tyndall effect, and the path of the light becomes visible. Now the Earth's atmosphere consists of, it's a heterogeneous mixture of various particles. It consists of air particles, dust particles, water droplets, dust, smoke, etc. So when scattering takes place through that, the path of the particles becomes visible. You can see this one in a smoke-filled room, and if sunlight comes out through a circular hole into that room, you will be able to see the path of light. Have you ever witnessed this, children? Yes. Now the scattering of light also depends upon wavelength of the light. Very fine particles, you know that the red particles, red light has larger wavelength than the blue light. Now I am going to use the word blue only. Violet, as I said, it is insensitive, so let us talk about in terms of red and blue. So the very fine particles will scatter light of shorter wavelengths. Large particles will scatter light of larger wavelengths. Interaction will take place between particles and the light. And very large particles, they will scatter light of all all wavelengths equally, giving rise to a white color. So now having understood, now let us try to understand why sky is blue in color. You know that sun consists of 7 colors, and out of these 5 colors are most prominently visible to us. So when sunlight passes through that, which consists of more fine particles, here out of these 5 colors, which is the shortest wavelength? Blue color. So it scatters the blue color more strongly than red color. So, and this scattered light reaches our eyes. So because of that, the sky appears blue in color. Hope you have understood the reason. Now, what will be the color of the sky when you fly at very high altitudes, or when you see from the spacecraft, when an astronaut sees from the spacecraft? Can you guess? You know that very high altitude, no air, no particles, vacuum. So no scattering. No scattering means no light will reach your eye. So it will appear dark or black in color. Have you understood? Good. Now let us learn the reason why danger signals are red in color. Danger signals are red in color. Can anybody can tell? Why? Because it is least scattered by fog or smoke, as red as a longer wavelength. So longer wavelength will be least scattered, shorter wavelength will be most scattered. We have just learnt. So red being a longer wavelength, it is least scattered by fog or smoke. So it can be seen in the same color from a distance. Now let us do an activity to understand why sun is red at sunset or sunrise. Are you ready to perform the activity? Now let us perform an activity to understand why sun is red at sunset or sunrise. So for doing this activity, we need these items, these materials we have to require: a source of light, a source of white light, then we need 2 lenses, convex lens, converging lens, then a glass tank containing clear water, about 2 liters of clear water, a rectangular glass tank you can take, and a cardboard with a circular hole, a screen. Apart from this, we need 200 gram of sodium thiosulfate, which is known as hyposolution, and 1 to 2 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid. So take these materials ready, keep it, then place the source of white light at the focus of the converging lens. Then the rays coming out will be parallel and it will be falling on the glass tank. It comes out parallel like this. Then here a cardboard with a circular hole is kept, which is allowed to fall on this. And then when it comes out, once again it is allowed to fall on another convex lens, and then it is focused onto the screen. So this is the setup of the apparatus. So now, since it is clear water, so we will not see the path of light inside the glass tank. Then add 200 grams of hypo solution to this clean water, and then add 1 to 2 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid, and you will see that the sulfur particles, minute sulfur particles, start precipitating within 2 to 3 minutes, and this makes the solution colloidal and the path of the light becomes visible. So when you look from the three sides, from the three sides of the tank, you will find that the color, it will appear blue in color. It is because the minute sulfur particles scatters the blue light more, giving rise to the blue color effect. But when you look from the fourth side, it is interesting to see that initially the color will be orange red, and then later it becomes crimson red. Now in the same way, what makes the difference? You are looking from one position, all the three sides, and then the fourth side also. So it shows that the distance from where you are viewing matters. The color change is due to distance from where you are viewing. So now with this we will be able to explain the reason why sun is red at sunset and almost whitish or yellow during noon time. Now let us try to understand why, with the help of a diagram, the reason for reddish appearance of the sun at sunset or sunrise, and it appears white when it looks white when it is overhead. Now this is the first one. It is earth surface. This is atmosphere layer around the earth. Now sun is horizon, means it is in this direction here. This is horizon we say, and here sun is there. And then when it is here, it is in this color, almost whitish. Now here, why it is red? That is what we are trying to understand. So at the horizon, when it is here, what happens? The light ray from the sun has to travel a large distance in atmosphere, thick layers of atmosphere it has to travel. So most of the blue light or violet light gets scattered. So only the longer wavelength scattered away, they are all scattered away, only the longer wavelength will reach the eye of the observer. Therefore, it appears red in color. When it is overhead, the light from that will be traveling like this to the observer's eyes in this direction, but only a lesser thickness of the atmosphere it has to travel. It travels a less distance in the atmosphere. Therefore, less blue or less violet light gets scattered, so leaving the sun almost as white as possible. So in this way, we can explain the various colorful phenomena that is taking place around us in terms of these two phenomena, atmospheric refraction and scattering of light. So that's all for today's topic. I have given you in this slide a YouTube link where you can get to visualize or see the activity what I have described here. With the animation it has been explained there, and also you can visualize the reddish appearance of sun at sunset or sunrise. Hope you will watch it and enjoy. So we will learn a new topic in the next class. Jai Hind.